Hey, good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. I just walked outside, took the trash out, and out here on Memphis Avenue, man, it's glorious. Not much of a breeze. It's a little muggy. There's a little thick, but it's not too hot yet. And boy, there is just evidence of God's design on creation all around us. So I hope that's the kind of morning you've woke up to today. And I hope it stays that way all throughout your day so that we can truly have made the most of this day, Tuesday, August the 4th. Can you believe we're in August? I mean, I don't know. My mind is stuck somewhere back in, I don't know, April, March, maybe May, but we're in August. Things are supposed to really get changing around August, but we'll see if they change. It may just be more of the same. But for whatever the case may be, we're going to hold the course. We're going to, as we talked about Sunday morning in worship, maintain that posture of prayer, letting God win the victory for us. And if you didn't get a chance to see that, I'll make sure there's a link somewhere on our Facebook at some point this week so that we can you can review that a little bit because that story in Exodus 17 is crucial to the way that we are going to prevail in these tumultuous times. So, Carlene, hey, good morning to you and Pat. I hope y'all are having a great Tuesday morning so far. Hope all your family's doing well. Big fist bumps all around to y'all. And Francis, I tell you what, I got to brag on you a little bit. Um, Brag and complain a little bit. Brag because the banana bread was absolutely awesome. Complain because it had a very short expiration life. You said the bread would last 2 or 3 days. It didn't last a day at our house. It evaporated. It was gone. But I think everybody had a great time making it disappear before my eyes. But I hope you're having a great morning this morning, Francis. And Raina, good morning to you, sister. Big fist bump. Hako Strong, we were through Crystal Beach. Thought about you just the other day. God bless you, sister. You're still up there on my prayer list, and I hope things are going well for you. And man, if you need anything from me or Birdie, aka Christy, you give us a call. Hope you'll feel free to do that. Randy, good morning, brother. I've got my regular Seaport coffee in my Bulldog coffee mug, so I hope you have your cafe au lait poured up and ready to go. You might even be enjoying one of those sweet rolls, one of those cinnamon rolls from that Koala Kalachi place, which I'm going to have to go try out myself because that was pretty spectacular. And God bless you, Randy. I hope things are going good in Houston. Donna, I need you to do me a big favor. First of all, give David a fist bump. If he's not up, don't give him a fist bump yet. But I need to give a shout out to your mom, Miss Verdi. I miss her terribly, and I know you do too. And I have thoroughly enjoyed all those posts that you've put up. Just to jog your mom's memory about old events and these old pictures, man, that those truly tell stories. So Donna, I tell you what, big fist bump to you too, and I can't wait to be able to see your mom again. And Al, good morning. I hope you'll give Wanda a big hug from me. And if I see her on here, I'm going to ask her to give you a big fist bump. And Joyce, there's my sister. How are things in Copper's Cove? Listen, I don't have my First Baptist Nederland mug, but I do have my Bulldog mug. And let me show you what Birdie got for me. This is my officially becoming a grandpa coffee device. This is a Chemex coffee making system. And you can see the coffee is black and it's delicious. And I'm making most of a very good pot of Seaport coffee this morning. And in fact, it makes more than what I normally make. So I probably am suffering from more caffeine than I normally ingest. So if we go a little long today, hey y'all forgive me, but I'm going to try to keep it on track and keep good stuff in front of you. Carlene, how are you doing? Give Alton a big fist bump from me. I y'all are at the end of my eyesight at the back of the church, but I did see y'all come in, sit down. Love y'all, appreciate y'all, and I hope everything is going as well as it can be for y'all. Valerie, hey, God bless you this morning. Good to see you on here. And I tell you what, you've been a big encouragement to all of us burdens. And Teresa, good morning, sister. I tell you what, you don't even have to watch on Facebook. I'll just talk a little bit louder and raise my window, and you'll be able to hear everything that's going on. But I'm glad you're here. Would you give Wayne a big fist bump? Just a few houses down. Tommy, good morning, brother. Man, it's good to see you on here. I hope you guys are having as good of an August as you possibly can. And man, you've really had a powerful summer. You've been recognized at the state level. Man, I want to send my congratulations out to you, Tommy. God bless you and keep up the good work. And Aunt Brenda, good morning. How are things in Paris, Texas? I hope you've got your hot cup of whatever your preferred beverage is poured up, ready to go. We're going to get into a good commandment this morning. Commandment number 5. Doug, what's up in Ferguson, man? Man, it's good to see you on here. Hope that everything is going well amongst the Inmans. Doug, I tell you what, man, y'all need to make a trip down to Texas just to get all the flavors of Bluebell ice cream to be able to take back with you to make everybody jealous. We had piles of cookies and cream Bluebell ice cream this past weekend, for no other reason than they're fully stocked at the Market Basket right here. So good to see you in here, Doug. Be good, stay cool, and stay safe. But God bless y'all. And Donna, hey, I tell you what, I saw that a resident had COVID, and I'm just praying because it's a tough situation, sister. It really is tough when we can't, be with those that we love, and we know that there's the pandemic going on. It's Verdi is in my prayers. You're in my prayers. You and David both are in my prayers. So God bless y'all, and hope everything smooths out, and there's no further reason for alarm. Now, Wanda, I've already warned Al. I asked him to give you a big hug. Would you give him that big fist bump? Make sure he's good and awake. Going to be awake through all this. I know he's got his seaport ready. It might be decaf, but I know he's got his seaport going. And Faye, good morning. Would you do me a favor? Would you give Jerry a fist bump if he's up? There, don't wake anybody up with a fist bump, but just tell him that I said hi. But if he's up, give him a big fist bump. Tell him Brother Jason said hi. And what I've got in store for us today is the 5th commandment. Now, I apologize for not hanging out with y'all Saturday. Man, we were out of town, and just it wasn't going to work out. But y'all are gracious, y'all are kind, and we're back together now. And we're going to go forward with these commandments. And the 5th commandment is the first commandment that starts to talk about people's personal relationships. Let me ask you a trick question. Where is that place where a child, a person first learns how to deal with people outside themselves? It's in the home, isn't it? It's at home. It's at home that the 10 Commandments are first taught and lived out. It's in the home where we build the foundation for a strong society. It's in the home that we prepare our children to go out into the world to make the most of it, to be successful in it, to be obedient to God in all things. And it's no wonder that after we talk about the theological commandments, which are the first 4, and we talked about, don't break in the Sabbath. I think it was last Thursday. Talked about no graven images. Talked about having no other gods before me. Is what God says. These are all crucial, but the 5th commandment is where we talk about our interpersonal relationships that honor God. God gave us these commandments because He cares about us. and he cares about what we do. What we do matters to God. And if we'll build our lives of faith, discipleship, and obedience upon these commandments, then it lays a solid foundation for the rest of our lives. In fact, if you want to live a long life, well, it's in this passage. It's in this commandment. Here, I'm going to enjoy a libation from my Seaport coffee before we get into the reading of the scripture this morning. So we've got to have a little caffeine to fuel that inspiration. So here we go. Okay, the fifth commandment, Exodus 20, verse 12. Says, honor your father and mother so that you may live long in the land your God is giving you. Honor your mother and father, your father and mother, so that you may live long in the land that your God is giving you. So that word to honor, it certainly is well translated to honor, but also to glorify. It means to respect. And this isn't something just for 5-year-olds to take care of. It's for all people, all sons and daughters of every mom and dad, no matter what age they are, to attend to. This is a commandment we keep the entirety of our lives. Now, God put this fifth commandment in the first of the interpersonal commandments because of the prominence of the family in a healthy society, in a healthy nation, in a healthy culture. The fifth commandment places prominence on the family. The family is the first place where we learn to say our prayers. The family is the first place that we learn to worship God. It's amongst family that it's the first place where we learn how to treat and value and give dignity to other people. Sometimes that dignity might be coerced as mom and dad tell brothers and sisters to get along, but it's still as we honor and obey and respect our parents, we're going to be much better suited to being able to be functional citizens in the world that we're going to grow up into. If you agree with that, hey, put an amen on here. Press that heart button repeatedly until either the button falls off or your finger gets a blister. If a person learns to respect their mother and father in the home, they're going to be much more likely to be a well-suited citizen in the country, in the nation, in the society that they're going to grow up into. I think this is why God put this as the fifth commandment. After the four theological commandments, he gives us the fifth commandment so that we'll know how to treat other people in a way that glorifies God. So God places prominence upon the family here in the fourth commandment. In the fifth commandment, honor your father and mother, it truly is the string that holds the tapestry of society together. Let me just rant for a little bit. It feels like we're living in a world that is devoid of respect for persons. I don't know how else to spell that out. It feels as if we're living in a time, in a culture, in a society where there is just a complete lack of respect, concern, or dignity shown towards other people. I mean, this is really a sad state of affairs that we find ourselves in, where we learn respect is at home, as we listen to mom and dad, as we honor mom and dad, as we obey mom and dad. Then we are taught by obeying them how to become people that are respected, that are respectable, and that can lead others. Moms and dads aren't the only leaders that kids are going to need to respect and to obey and listen to. We've got teachers that need to be obeyed and respected, honored, listened to. We have law enforcement that needs to be obeyed, respected, and listen to. We have elected officials, whether we agree with them or not, when they write laws, we're all living under those laws. We need to pray for good elected officials that will make good decisions so that the laws that are passed will benefit the entirety of our society. But it doesn't matter what kind of legislation is passed if we're raising a generation of people who don't respect even their father and their mother. There's no amount of laws that can be passed anywhere that will correct the ails of our culture. There are no laws that will be able to overcome the neglect of the fifth commandment. But as we participate in this fifth commandment, we're building up a generation, or we're providing for generations of people who are strong enough to hold the tapestry of our society together. And that's why this commandment is so important. And let's face it, strong families make for strong churches. Now, I'm a pastor, I'm kind of biased. I live in the world of the church, but strong families make for strong churches. Families that stick together, and families where the children are respective of their parents, they honor their parents. It makes for strong churches, as this commandment in particular, but all the commandments, regardless of which number, all of them are adhered to. But this one really is the linchpin when it comes to creating strong congregations and strong churches, and not just strong churches, strong communities. Strong communities are built upon the foundation of strong families. Families are so crucial to our culture, our community. It's in the family setting that values are passed along. It's in the family setting that children grow up to the full potential of what God has in mind for them. It's in the family setting that people find the kind of support for when they get knocked down, the kind of support that picks them up. It's the kind of organization, it's the kind of family organization that celebrates every milestone a person might go through. Without family, people are just cut off from that most intimate, God ordained social network that ties them to some semblance of who He is and His created order, and the kind of honor that should be communicated between persons. I mean, this is crucial. Strong families make for strong churches, but not only strong churches, a strong community. So for the sake of the entire community, and for the sake of our world, let's be champions of this fifth commandment. This is good stuff. So listen, I mentioned a little bit earlier that honoring mom and dad, honoring your father and mother, isn't just a thing that you do during childhood. It's a thing that we pursue throughout the entirety of our existence. When you're a child, and I don't know if there's many children watching this today, but if you're connected to a child, you just go back and replay this section. If you're a child, you honor your father and mother through obedience and respect. Okay, obedience and respect. Now that's still kind of a high order for parents. Parents need to be the kind of people who are respectable. Respect leads to obedience. Okay, these go hand in hand. But in the first season of a person's life, from infancy up to through adolescence, there needs to be, in fulfilling this commandment, obedience and respect. Listen to what it says in Proverbs. Proverbs 1:7-9 says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. Listen, my son, to your father's instructions, and do not forsake your mother's teaching. They will be a garland to grace your head and a chain to adore your neck. Doug, hey man, well, you know what? I might just clip out this segment and send it to you, and you just replay it over and over and over again. Just say, hey, that guy down in Texas, listen to what he said. And he should know because they got Bluebell down there. That's where they got the Bluebell. But, we can sense this. When you're a child living under your parents' roof, this is how we honor best our father and mother, is through obedience and respect. We take their teaching, we live it out obediently while we're under their roof. We grow from it, we learn from it, and we're going to seek to obey it. Okay, this is the fundamental place where we learn respect and obedience, is through honoring mother and father. And even when we don't feel like it, we do it anyway because God, our ultimate authority, has commanded it. It's the fifth commandment. But, I know there's not many of us in this scroll, in this, excuse me, in this feed right now who fit that category. A lot of us have people living with us in that category, but there's a whole bunch of us who have long ago flown the coop. You've graduated, you've matriculated, you're out on your own, you got your own mortgage, you got your own house, you got your own cars. You've flown the coop, but that still doesn't exempt you from following the fifth commandment. The fifth commandment is still operative. It might not look the same. Mom and dad might not be barking orders at you in the same way. They may not be admonishing you in the same way, but you still owe them the same honor that this commandment prescribes throughout your life. So let's say we've all flown the coop. Well, listen to what Proverbs 31 says. And I love this passage because it comes from the passage about the virtuous woman. It says in Proverbs 31, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her the reward she has earned, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. When we've flown the coop, there comes a different season in our lives for the expression of honor for our parents. And just as this passage talks about, that display of honor comes in the form of admiration and cooperation. Instead of our parents holding our hands to help us across the street, we join hands with our parents, with our father and mother, if we're so fortunate to have them, so that we can cooperate towards the same goals that God has for all families, that we would lead all the generations present in our family to worshiping Him, that we would do our ministry and our service together in a way that unites our witness and our testimony and our strength for service, together, so that we share each other's resources, where we defend each other, we go to bat for each other, we're in each other's corner. That's what cooperation looks like. But admiration, I know, I know that once I got to be about 20 something. Once I started having my own kids, there was a great admiration, a monumental admiration for what my parents had to put up with. Huge respect after coming into my own parenthood for the parents of my youth. I mean, this is crucial. But when we've flown the coop, when we're out from underneath our parents' household, it's time to show admiration and it's time to cooperate. Every adult needs to be a contributor to the good of the whole. And that contribution means working with and alongside our parents. It might not mean working for them anymore. It might mean working with them. And whether there's, a family company or not, we can still work with them towards those goals that God has for each and every one of us. This is why this fifth commandment never goes out of style. You're always growing through those stages. In those stages, the first one, When you're a child, when you're an adolescent, it's respect and obedience. When you're an adult and you've come into your own and you've started your own family, that honor for your father and mother turns into admiration and cooperation. But then there comes a third season that I've seen lived out in many people's lives, that I've bragged on many people, not publicly but privately to them, for the way they've honored their mother and father in a later season in their lives and in their parents' lives. That third season is when your parents might be back under your roof. Okay. And just because for either health reasons or otherwise they've come back under your roof doesn't mean that this commandment has fallen to the wayside. In fact, those that have invited mom and dad, or mom or dad, when necessity has arisen to come back underneath their roof, that they're truly showing a great and heroic uh, obedience to this commandment to honor your father and mother. When parents come back into our own households, well, you can kind of hear what Paul is talking about in 1 Timothy chapter 5. 1 Timothy 5:8 says, anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially for their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. You know, one of the most tragic things that I've seen in all my years is, you know, children of parents just completely cutting them off, abandoning them, and not having anything to do with them. It's tragic. I've seen it happen. You may have seen it happen in your own realm of friends. I'm not going to name any names, but it it's heartbreaking when it comes time for any parent's child to take care of their parents in the way that their parents took care of them when they were little. The fifth commandment comes into play in a very special way. When parents come back under our roofs, we honor them and respect them with patience, with our presence, and with dignity. And that's the order for the day for a particular season in everyone's life. And I hope I hope that each of us get to enjoy our parents so long that that and our parents enjoy long, robust life. But for very many cases, very many people, there's going to come a point where you get to decide to be your parents' primary caregiver, whether you're able to care for them at home or care for them in an institution that provides quality care for them. I mean, your concern for them never diminishes. Your watch care over them only increases as their needs rise. So does your ability or uh, your responsibility to meet their needs. So in that season where they're either physically or metaphorically under your roof, under your care, the order of the day is patience, presence, and dignity. So as we go through these seasons of life, let's remember that the fifth commandment is always operative. And the better that we pursue, participate in, and live out that fifth commandment, the better of a world we're creating, not just in the here and now, but for generations to come. And God is honored as we honor our father and our mother. Hey guys, listen, this is that's my take on the fifth commandment. God bless y'all and love y'all. And listen, we're going to be celebrating the Lord's Supper. I don't know if you saw it in I think the description of this post might be up here, might be down there. But if you're not going to be in the building with us on August the 30th, I want you to participate in the Lord's Supper with us. It's not going to be we're not just going to rush through this. This is going to be a beneficial, meaningful, and inspired time that we've put together so that everybody, no matter where they are, whether they're in the church house or in their own house or at the lake house, wherever you can view the service, you're going to feel like you are meaningfully part of the Lord's Supper observation. Okay, so go ahead and click that link, go to the registration, fill it out, let us know how many Lord's Supper kits you need, and it's just a little juice cup with a cracker on top. But with that, Christy and I have written a devotional, and we're going to include that with it. So just let us know who you are, where to send it. We're going to send you those cups. We're going to send you that devotional. We're going to send you some other information about what's going on in the church. But let's get excited about being together for this. But listen, God bless y'all today. I hope you have a great Tuesday. Send me any prayer requests that you have. Wednesday is prayer meeting. Going to have something special tomorrow night. But God bless y'all wherever you are today. Have a great Tuesday.